Welcome back to this already the final segment of The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. You know, one of the big issues out there is this whole issue of home health care. A lot of stuff going on. The baby boomers, which is the senior generation, now over 30% of the population out there. And so this concept of the sandwich generation, the idea of people who have both children that they're taking care of and seniors to take care of, is more profound now when they first coined that term, the sandwich generation. So we've got someone on here with Denson Home Health. Her name is Kara Deganna, and she's a community coordinator. Real quickly, first of all, Kara, kind of tell us about Denson and tell us a little bit about yourself, and delighted to have you on the program.
Well, Denson Home Health is a skilled services home health provider. We have skilled nursing, which is RNs and LVNs. We also have physical therapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapists. And we actually go into the patient's home and provide those services to them in the comfort of their own home. Our goal is to try to keep people out of the hospital. If we can maintain their disease processes at home, whether that's cardiac problems or COPD, we like to try to keep them in the comfort of their own home where they seem to heal better.
Yeah, very good. How long have you been involved in this business?
I've been in the business for about 4.5 years now.
Okay, very cool. What was your background before that?
Well, I had my own construction company, and I was an administrative assistant.
So kind of give me an idea of what's happening out there today when it comes to home health care, because this is one of the fastest growing industries. I hate to use that expression, but it is one of the fastest growing industries out there.
Well, there's a lot of changes going on with the Obamacare, and it is because of our population is growing older, there is a bigger need for home health care. It's harder to get in to go see the doctor, and you can't always have that luxury of going to the hospital, and the hospital stays are shorter, so home health care is really starting to become a growing business. Yeah,
absolutely, and it's one that I guess would probably make sense from a government perspective, because it is more cost effective than some of the other things. Certainly more cost effective than hospitals.
Yes, it's very cost effective, and with our home health care company, we also do things like IV therapies at home. We do wound cares at home. We also have a pediatric division, so we have private duty nursing that will take care of small children that may have like cerebral palsy. Mm-hmm. And when a patient is at home, they seem to recover a whole lot better.
Sure. Well, I mean, think of how many diseases are floating around in the air at hospitals, not to mention the whole psychological and emotional environment of being around sick people. I don't know about you, but I don't care how healthy I am. If I go to the hospital, I just don't feel as healthy as I did before I got there.
Well, that's true.
And I think it's both psychological and sometimes environmental.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
And so keeping them out of the hospital is only good for everyone as much as possible.
That's correct.
So kind of give us a panoramic overview of what the options are now for people, talking primarily about seniors. Because back when I was a kid, it was all convalescent home.
Right.
You went to a convalescent home. But now there's just a plethora of different choices. Talk about that plethora, if you will.
Well, there's a skilled, they don't really call them nursing homes anymore. They're skilled nursing facilities. So you have assisted living, you have the 55-plus communities, you have the skilled nursing facilities. You also have a thing called personal care homes now, which is a little more personalized in a smaller setting than a skilled nursing facility. The other thing that you also have, besides the home health skilled services, you also have what we call provider services, where you have like a sitter that would come in during the day. There's adult daycare centers. The senior centers is a very good way to take advantage if you're working. If you have a parent at home and you're working, you can take them to these senior centers, adult daycare centers, or you can have provider service come in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so more options and new options all the time. What's a couple of the more newer options?
I would say the personal care homes are really starting to expand and grow. They've been around for a while, but we're seeing a lot more of them pop up. the adult daycare centers. I think we're starting to see a few more of those around in the area now, too.
Yeah, I've seen those more and more, too. I've literally seen buses for them.
Yes.
And it is almost analogous to child care, except they're not playing with, usually not doing Twister. That's kind of hard to do when you... but they are playing, they're playing dominoes, they're playing games, they're chatting with each other. They almost make it like a club.
Well, that interaction is very important for our seniors.
Yeah.
And if we also need volunteers. You mentioned transportation. Transportation is a major problem in a lot of the areas around Houston. So if you are able to go to your church or go to your call it the United Way, we're always looking for volunteers to help out with our senior population.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. Again, talking to Kara Deganna, talking about seniors and senior care today. More options now than ever. And I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it seems like, again, 30, 40 years ago, you were limited to a couple of options, and it just seems like there's new ones growing all the time. What role is the internet or technology beginning to play in some of this? Are we going to see more and more virtual assistance? I mean, we already see, of course, from the TV commercial, you fall down, you press that button, and you got immediate contact. That's kind of a small example, I guess, of what could be around the corner.
It is, and there's also, we are starting to implement a telemonitoring at home where you take your own blood pressure and you can hook yourself up, but you take different vital signs and statistics, and you can either call them in or we actually have like the EKGs that we can put on you, and a nurse from a distance can monitor you in case there's any problems that might arise. So telemonitoring is really starting to become a big thing that will help with the home care.
And that's huge because back in the older days, I guess you could say, and that's not too long ago, people would have to maybe weekly go in and get those things checked. And they'd have to get up, get dressed, family member would have to take them or whatever. This can be done. It can be done in your pajamas.
Yes.
And it's can be done daily if it feels like it deserves to be done daily.
Or even more than that. It can also be done hourly.
Depending on how
what the circumstances
volatile that person's situation is. Thanks so much for being with us today. You had another group you wanted to mention real quick.
I did want to mention the CAP of Pearland. We're community assistance providers. We offer help. We're a nonprofit organization, and we help out people in a short-term crisis. You can find us on the website of capofpearland.org. There's also a sister organization called Cap of Clear Lake, and we would love to have you come out. And if you have any questions about it, you can reach me at 713-935-6524.
Do that one more time.
713-935-6524.
You might also want to learn more about Denson Home Health. That's DensonHomeHealth.com. Kara, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. When we come back tomorrow, we're, as always, going to have great and more information for you. Do want to remind you the best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. Have a great rest of your day, but spend it right here.